Well, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Mr. Reed, and I'd like to meet you before we begin our lesson. So perhaps we'll start over here with Christopher.
Good morning, Mr. Reed.
And could you tell me your name, please?
Christopher.
Christopher, it's very nice to meet you. Are you ready for a nice spelling lesson? Very good.
Good morning, Mr. Reed. My name is Carrie.
Carrie, it's nice to meet you. Are you ready for your lesson? I'm glad to hear that.
Good morning, Mr. Reed. My name is Chloe.
Well, good morning, Chloe. How are you this morning?
Good.
Good. Ready for spelling?
Yes.
All right.
Good morning, Mr. Reed. My name is Lincoln.
Lincoln, it's nice to meet you. Are you ready for school and for a nice spelling lesson? I'm glad to hear that.
Good morning, Mr. Reed. My name is Joshua.
Good morning, Joshua. How are you this morning?
Good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Are you ready to spell?
Yes.
Very good. So in preparation for our spelling lesson, and this is a second grade spelling lesson, section A, dictation of the words using the story, we will number our papers from 1 to 9. That way we don't have to take the time numbering when we start the story. And just as a quick reminder, remember I'm going to say a word to you. After I've said the word, you can repeat the word to me. That way I know that you've heard it correctly. After you've said the word back to me, then I'm going to tell you the sound. And as I say the sound, what will you say?
The letters.
That's right. You'll tell me the way to spell the sound. And we'll do it all together. As we're saying it, we'll write it, right? So we can hear it, we can see it, we can do it all at one time. When we're finished with that, then I'll start the spelling story. And you'll repeat the spelling story with me, all right? Because that helps us to see them in our mental image. And if you can see the words in your mental image, you'll remember them. What happens if you try to memorize them? You just forget, don't you? But if you can close your eyes and see the story, will you remember it? Much better. And remember, when we're finished with this, we'll turn our papers over and have a recall. And should we recall the words by trying to memorize them all on the list, or by saying the story? Saying the story. So that's what we'll do, all right? And then you'll say the story with me, and we can actually point to each word as a reminder when we're saying the story, and that will help us with our recall as well. Is that right? And it's a terrific thing to be able to recall things like that, because it means that you can remember more and more things. Does that sound like a good tool for you as you go into the upper grades?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right? Okay, so the first word that we have, now, actually, before we even get into the first word, I want to have you help me remember some of my Carden controls. All right? Now, do you remember what sound A with another vowel makes?
A.
A. And if I needed to write A with another vowel on my paper, I don't want to write out A and then write the word with and then the word another and the word vowel, do I? So how would I write it on my paper?
A with a plus sign.
A with a plus sign. Well, would it be all right for me to say that's A plus? No, because it means with another vowel, doesn't it? It doesn't mean A plus, okay? So A with another vowel says A. E with another vowel says
E.
I with another vowel says
I.
O with another vowel says
O.
and U with another vowel says
U.
U. Very good. Now, there are other sounds that our letters can make, aren't there? And A has another sound. Sometimes if he sits next to R in a word, he makes a different sound. So what would AR say?
R.
Very good. AR says R. Now, if I heard R in a word, for instance, if I had the word park, what would the Carden control for park be?
AR says R.
AR says R. And I love how you say what the control says after you say the control, because that helps me to remember it, doesn't it? Yes? All right. Very good. Well, are you ready to start our spelling lesson? Okay. The first lesson that the first word that I have for you is far. Now you say the word with me. Far. Fa.
F.
R.
AR says R.
Good. Now put your pencil on the first word, and I'll start the spelling story. Not far from our house, there is a farm. Number 2 is farm. You say the word with me. Farm. Fa.
F.
R.
AR says R.
M.
M.
Okay, now let's put our pencil on the first word and repeat the spelling story with me now, okay? Not far from our house, there is a farm. On the other side of our house, there is a park where we like to play tag. Number 3 is park. Say the word.
Park.
Pa.
P.
R.
AR says R.
Ka.
K.
Very good. All right, let's put our pencil on the first word. Not far from our house, there is a farm. On the other side of our house, there is a park where we like to play tag. Number 4 is tag. We say the word tag. Ta.
T.
A.
A says A.
Ga.
G.
Okay. Pencils on number 1 again. Not, and say the story with me. Not far from our house there is a farm. On the other side of our house there is a park where we like to play tag. We must be careful not to shake the branches of the tree. Number 5 is shake. Say that word.
Shake.
Sha.
S-H.
A.
A with another vowel says A.
Ka.
K.
And you promised me it was A with another vowel that says A. And right now it doesn't look as though I have A with another vowel. So what do I need to add?
E.
E. Very good. Right. You wouldn't want to shack the branches of the tree, would you? No. All right. Here we go. Word number 1. Not far from our house there is a farm. On the other side of our house there is a park where we like to play tag. We must be careful not to shake the branches of the tree. One of our players runs so fast that we call him our star. Number 6 is star. Say the word.
Star.
Sta.
S-T-R.
R.
A-R says R.
Very good. Are you ready? Not far from our house there is a farm. On the other side of our house there is a park where we like to play tag. We must be careful not to shake the branches of the tree. One of our players is so fast, runs so fast that we call him our star. He is careless sometimes with his arms. Number 7 is arms. Say the word. Arms. R.
A-R says R.
And how do we make it plural to tell more than one?
S.
S. Very good.
yes.
All right. And did we need S or ES in this case?
S.
S in this case, but sometimes it is ES, isn't it? Very good. All right, let's go back to far. Now let's see if you can see it in your mental image as we say the story now, okay? Not far from our house there is a farm. On the other side of our house there's a park where we like to play tag. We must be careful not to shake the branches of the tree. One of our players runs so fast that we call him our star. He is careless sometimes of his arms. We are afraid that if he hits one of the trees, that the caretaker will ask us to stay away. Number 8 is ask. Say the word. Ask. A.
A says A.
Ska.
S-K says Ska.
Very good. Are you ready? Not far from our house there is a farm. On the other side of our house there is a park where we like to play tag. We must be careful not to shake the branches of the tree. One of our players runs so fast that we call him our star. He is careless sometimes with his arms. We are afraid that if he hits one of the trees, the caretaker will ask us to stay away. Number 9 is stay. Say the word. Very good. Sta.
S-T says Sta.
A.
A-Y says A.
Now, how did you know to spell that A-Y instead of A-E?
Just knew it.
You just knew it? Where did? Yes, Christopher?
Because A-E does not make sense at the end of a word.
That's right. If we hear A at the end of a word, how do we spell it?
A-Y.
A-Y. If we heard it at the beginning or in the middle of a word, maybe we would consider using an E as the second vowel, right? Okay, very good. Well, let's take a moment now in parentheses next to our words to write the Carden controls, which you've already helped me understand this morning. When we're finished, we'll check them together. All right? All right, are we finished? All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to check our words. And so when it's your turn, if you would say the word, that way I know I have the right word. And if you would spell the word, and then give the Carden control. Now, Carrie, when you're telling me how to spell the word, what should I be doing?
Paying attention.
Paying attention. So I shouldn't be looking over here. Why not?
Because you can't hear what the person's saying.
Right. Christopher?
It's being rude.
That's true. It's not kind to not pay attention when somebody else is talking, right? But it's also true that if I had made a mistake and Carrie was going to tell me the right way to spell the word and I wasn't paying attention, would I hear it?
No.
No. And then I would have a misspelled word on my paper, and that wouldn't be good, right? So what if we get the word wrong? What should we do, Joshua?
Erase it.
Erase it? All right. And if we erase it, we can write the correct word in place of it. Is that right? But then when we're finished with the whole lesson, let's say I made a mistake only on one word and I erased it, and then I wrote the correct word instead of it. At the end of the lesson, I would have all of my words. Would I know which word I had made a mistake on? No. So actually, instead of erasing it, you know what I would like us to do is to just put a little check mark next to it. And if you can even put a check mark above the letter that was incorrect. And then when we have time, we'll write the correct word to the right of it. And that way, when I'm finished with the lesson, which words should I study? All the ones I spelled right the first time, or the one I spelled incorrectly the first time? Incorrectly. So that allows me to see the mistakes that I might make. Now, I might review all of the words, but I'll study the one that I got wrong. That makes sense to you, doesn't it?
Yes.
All right. Because guess what is the hardest word on your spelling test, Lincoln? The hardest word on your spelling test is Lincoln. Now, are you going to study that? Do you study your name every day before a spelling test? Oh, I know the teacher's going to put this on the test. I'd better study it. Or do you know how to spell Lincoln?
I know how to spell it.
So you don't study it, do you? No. So that's one of the things that we'll learn in Carden is that if we can find our mistakes, then that also helps us to know where we can learn. Okay? All right. Who would like to go first? Yes, Christopher? And then we'll go this way. Is that all right?
Yes.
Christopher?
Far. F-A-R. A-R says R.
Very nice.
Farm. F-A-R-M. A-R says R.
All right. Chloe?
Park. P-A-R-K. A-R says R.
Lincoln?
Tag. T-A-G. A-L says A.
Very good. Just 1 second, Joshua. I think it's just a little curly Q on your parenthesis here. But if I was looking at that, I might think it was A with another vowel. Just because there's a little mark there. So maybe that's a case where you could erase just a little curly part of your parenthesis. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. Joshua?
Shake. A with another vowel says A.
And would you spell it for me, please? Just to make sure I have it right.
S-H-A-K-E.
Very good. And the control again?
A with another vowel says A.
Very good. All right. And Christopher, we're back to you.
Star. S-T-A-R. A-R says R.
Very good.
Arms. A-R-M-S. A-R says R.
Very nice. Chloe?
Ask. A-S-K. A says A.
Very nice. And Lincoln?
Stay. S-T-A-Y. A-Y says A.
Very good. And sometimes we might even say, especially when we get into 3rd grade and 4th grade, and there are more ways to say A, because there are actually more ways to say A than we know about right now. We might say AY says A at the end of a word, because as you reminded me, Christopher, that if we hear it at the end, we'll spell it AY. Does that sound good? All right.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, now, what control do you think we were working on today?
A with another vowel. A-R.
AR. How many controls are AR?
5.
5 of the controls are AR?
5, yeah.
Yes.
5.
All right, how many A with another vowels do you see?
1.
One A with another vowel. Do you see any other controls that are neither AR nor A with another vowel?
A alone.
A alone? Any more?
A-Y.
AY. How many A alone?
1.
And AY?
1.
1. Very good. So when I'm studying, I might think, which are the AR words? Because that's what I'm practicing today. Is that right? Let's repeat the story one more time, and then we're going to have our recall. All right? Good. Let's put our pencil on the first word. Did anybody have a word that they needed to correct?
No.
It didn't look like it. All right, very good. All right. See if you can remember the story. See if you can see the story. Because if you can see it, you'll remember it, won't you? All right, good. Not far from our house, there is a farm. On the other side of our house, there is a park where we like to play tag. We must be careful not to shake the branches of the tree. One of our players runs so fast, we call him our star. He is careless sometimes with his arms. We are afraid that if he hits one of the trees, the caretaker will ask us to stay away. All right, let's turn our paper over and do our recall. Yes? Very good. We got, most of us got 7 or more words, didn't we? Or 6 or more words? Very nice. How did you get that many words?
Because we remember the story.
You remember the story. That's good. Do you think if I gave you a list of words and said, memorize this, that it would be as easy? No. All right, that's a good thing for us to recall. All right, so if you'd like to put your pencils down, I'll have you stand and come over here behind Christopher, and you can thank me for the lesson.